Time to talk Cowboy baseball. The season is here, and what an exciting start for the Cowboys as things get started this weekend. Josh Holliday with us now in his 14th year as Oklahoma State head coach. Time flies, right?
It does. It flies when you're having fun, and that is hard to believe. Seems like just yesterday we rolled in here, and, Coach Holder said, we'd love for you to come back and be the baseball coach, and I can remember those words like it was just yesterday. It's 14 years ago. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a ton of great memories, a ton of awesome players, lots of great teams, and all kinds of progress over the years. So we're thrilled with where we're at and excited about the season and hope to continue to elevate this program every day.
And you'll jump right in the fire.
Yes.
At Globe Life Park, you'll face Arkansas, Oklahoma, and number 23 Vanderbilt. So It is early, but what's it do for you to start the year with that type of competition?
Well, I think it makes the preseason stuff very meaningful. So the practices have a little more attention to detail. You don't anticipate walking out and starting the season in a setting where mistakes can go overlooked or you can get away with it. So I think it keeps you very disciplined in practicing those things early that you know are needed in a one-run game. If you were to take a different route, say maybe play somebody you'd expect your talent gap to give you a cushion, you might get away with some mistakes and still win. These three games will not allow that. So attention to detail early, making sure all your team defensive schemes are really well rehearsed and practiced. I think the biggest thing, Dave, and this is the case for all college baseball teams this time of year, is just the very much the aggressive yet cautious ramp-up of your pitchers, getting your pitchers ready for the season, doing so responsibly to keep them healthy, but also doing it in a way where they're ready to go out and face some of the best hitters in the country, right? Because we know adrenaline kicks in, competitive nature kicks in, you're in a huge setting, great teams, scouts everywhere. The kids are they're going to rise to the occasion. So making sure that we have gotten their bodies prepared to rise to that occasion, knowing their minds will, is also a big focus on the preseason piece. And I think just overall, what does it do for you? It awakens you quite quickly to the level of play required to win something meaningful. In these three games, Arkansas, outstanding, very deep roster, physically gifted in all places. Legendary coach and Coach Van Horn. Oklahoma, super athletic all over the field. And Vanderbilt, very, very well-rounded and unbelievably well-coached. So those teams give us a great chance to see where we're at. And we get to play indoors in a billion-dollar facility. The people that host this tournament treat us great. And the Shriners Children's College Classic represents not just baseball, but an organization that does awesome things for children and families. And we met our captain just 2 days ago, and he was very inspirational. So we're excited that we're doing something the first weekend that's a big deal, and we're honored that Oklahoma State continues to get included in that field.
You referenced pitching. You have a new pitching coach, Blake Hawksworth, who pitched in the big leagues. A lot of people in this part of the country will remember his time with the St. Louis Cardinals. What's he bring as a pitching coach that maybe is unique?
Well, he brings a lot, and I thought, when Rob decided to retire, what an awesome experience to coach alongside somebody for 13 years, and somebody that took their job so seriously. And so when I had the unique challenge of going out and hiring another excellent pitching coach, somebody that could really come in here and continue the rise of our program, but also continue to help attract, not only coach them when they're here, but attract it to get them here. I thought Blake had the perfect balance of the mind of a pitching coach, the mental strength on the psychology of pitching, the passion for preparing and game planning, and then a unbelievably awesome passion for kids of this age to recruit them and get them here and connect with them. So I thought it was the total package. On top of that, a great human being that has, I think, a great chemistry about his position, but also the role on our staff and the connection to our kids and our town. He wanted to be here. So he brings a lot, very well-rounded, very accomplished. And, I love the fact that he has seen baseball through some really cool lenses, both as a major league pitcher, as a pitching coach, but also he's been exposed to some of the best minds the game has had to offer. And he's seen baseball from the West Coast, from the Midwest, and all over. So just a very well-rounded guy. And I've noticed from day one, it's been all about the players, getting to know them, understanding them, and getting them to their potential.
So with pitching in mind, could you have as much variety in your starting rotation as maybe you've ever had? And when I say that, lots of different pitch types. You've obviously got lefties and righties, different arm slots. Could this be as sort of wide-ranging from a starting pitching standpoint as you've had maybe in a while, or no?
Well, it's good. It's a good mix. You know, there's you go into every season, Dave, trying to line them up to be successful early, knowing that pitch counts need to be managed and watched closely as you go into weekend 1 and weekend 2. So some years you're piggybacking and some years you're kind of matching up early. This first weekend, we're able to kind of line up, I think, in maybe the setting that we thought, if Hudson Barrett goes in day 1, this really fits him. He's a transfer. He's got some experience. He's got an excellent fastball, a big league changeup. He's got a very good slider and a sweeper. He works really fast. He's highly competitive. He has an emotional charge when he pitches. Really seems to fit the emotions of game 1. We liked that fit. Mario Pesca, who last year did a really nice job for us, he's better this year. He's in great shape. His pitches are better. We thought his right-handed sweeper and sinker going right to left, east to west, posed a different challenge than what Hudson's left-handed mix would pose in game 1. And then in game 3, Ethan Lund probably has the best pure stuff of anyone on our team. His fastball's been explosive. He's got a swing and miss curveball and a slider and changeup that he can go to when he needs it. So those 3 guys in game 1, 2, and 3 paired up in that order are 3 challenging release points, 3 different styles of pitch. Personalities are all different, but we think they're all very good. We think they complement each other well. We think the other team will have a great challenge on their hands trying to zero in on where the ball's coming. And then on top of that, how we can use our bullpen effectively over the course of 3 games to put together just really well-pitched games. So that's where we're at. I like our mix. Obviously, the one downside that would have given us an even greater look would have been Hunter Watkins at 6'9", with that steep downhill fastball and slider. Losing him in October was a blow, but things happen, and that's why you have a team, and that's where teams rally around each other. So other guys that could start or will pitch those leverage innings that ultimately decide wins and losses. Noah Weck, Stormy Rhodes, those 2 guys right there. Drew Blake is throwing the ball really good. Brendan Phillips is throwing the ball really well. These guys, along with some of the newcomers, that's how we feel like we're going to be able to put this thing together going into week 1 and 2.
Yeah, and we should also mention that your starting rotation will be lefty, righty, lefty, which is pretty unique in terms of the teams we see. Speaking, you mentioned Mario Pesca. Boy, he looks different. I mean, you mentioned him being in good shape. It looks like he's lost weight. Sounds like maybe he's even gained some velocity. I mean, it almost seems like he has evolved physically as much as any pitcher I can remember here from one year to another. Is that accurate, you think?
He's done a great job. I think Mario, coming back for his senior year, there was some hope in his heart, as there is in most kids, that he would have been drafted as a junior. And I understand that. I think we all have that as players. But the draft is shorter, and there's only so many opportunities. And when he didn't get selected, he changed his vision of what he would do with this last year on campus. He's taken full advantage of the awesome resources we have here, the strength and conditioning part, the nutritional part. Our therapist, Chris McKenzie, our strength coach, Garrett Bailiff, he's in there now seeing this opportunity through a different lens. And what you've got is a guy who's in the best shape of his life. He's stronger. He's moving better. He's throwing harder. He's more confident. And so it's the upside of getting a second year with a guy on transfer versus only getting to have them for a year. Mm-hmm. That second year, you have more time to be with them, more time to get to know them. And ultimately more time for your program to have a chance to impact them. So it works both ways. The program has continued to wrap their arms around him, and he continues to work hard on behalf of his team. So I like where he's at, but he has made great strides.
Obviously, you lost some key players, Nolan Schubert at the top of the list. This lineup construction and how it will function, will it be similar to your previous teams, or will there be some differences?
Well, there are some returning players, and that's always comforting. And I do very much love the kids that are back, and I think they give us great stability. But I'm very excited about the newcomers and how they fit alongside the returners. And I think when you look at a guy like Aiden Miola, Avery Ortiz, we didn't get to play with those guys last year.
Right.
When you put those guys in the lineup on the left side, when you look at a second-year Brock Thompson, when you look at a Colin Ritchie, who I think really blossomed last year, Alex Conover, who really started to find himself, getting Brugge back in that unpredictable fifth year was a nice shot in the arm. But then when you look at T.P. Wentworth, transfer from Clemson, Campbell Smithwick, transfer from Ole Miss, those two kids, when you look at our freshman class, I mean, my gosh, these kids every single day excite me. Garrett Scholl, the growth in Garrett Scholl from last year to this year, wow, what an awesome developmental piece there. He's hitting the ball from both sides of the plate. He's playing defense at 3 different positions. There's a lot to like. The freshman class is going to contribute. They're going to mix in nicely with the returners. And I think, Dave, we made the decision about 2 years ago in the recruiting landscape when teams were shifting to trying to have only 22 and 23-year-old players and living and dying via the transfer market in the month of late July into the start of the school year. Very risky, and in my opinion, a very unsound philosophy unless you're a school that knows you're going to get 10 or 12 or 15 of the best transfers every summer. The way the market was playing and the way players were moving and where they were moving to and why they were choosing those schools, we made a decision to invest and recruit the very best high school players in the country, get them here, get them through the draft, coach them effectively, develop them, keep them here, and get a good old-fashioned run of kids that bleed orange and black, that dig in here, play with pride, honor the jersey, and have an emotional connection to their program. That has been the formula that has worked at Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. It worked in the 80s. It's worked in the 90s. It's worked since. You have to be emotionally connected to what you're doing here to find in you as a performer that edge you need to go take on the best and beat the best. And that's real. And if anyone wants to sit down and have a pizza, I'll explain it to you in detail, because it requires you going on the field with a different level of connection and courage to win championships at the conference level, to win games in the postseason, and to get to the NCAA regional, super regional in Omaha. Those teams that have made it here from Oklahoma State have been made up of kids that were so invested that when it came time to fold or stand strong and make it, they stood strong. And we need that type of infusion of roster, I would call it roster cohesiveness and connection. And so this team is very important to me because it represents a young generation that we're building and a returning generation of players that understand it.
I'll tell you what, folks, if that doesn't get you fired up for the season, I don't know what would. Coach, we're looking forward to the year. I can't wait for you to come back home and I can get into the television booth and be in my absolute favorite place. Thank you, Josh.
Bet.
And thanks for watching. Baseball underway this weekend, and we are excited about it.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Inside OSU Athletics. Casey Kendrick joined by the head man of the Oklahoma State Cowgirl softball team. Kenny Gajewski joins us. And, Coach, the season has started. The weather's turning. Things are fun around here right now.
It's awesome. It's here. It's we're already 5 games in, and it's almost like a 10th of our year in one weekend, and we'll get a whole 1 day of practice this week and then do it again.
You know, it's obviously for this audience, this is maybe a little bit, maybe they haven't been caught up with your team. But, you know, when you look at your team, I know how excited you were. And it's interesting, right, because I've seen the press conference. I was at the press conference. We know a lot of the stories. But you made it very clear coming into this year that we are not skipping any steps. You know, after being called out a little bit last year by one of your mentors, you're like, we're not skipping steps. I don't care how talented we are going to go through the process. And so as that developed and kids went through the process, how ready did you feel? Because we'll talk about the weekend, but how ready going into the weekend did you feel that, okay, that feels more like what it was 6-7 years ago?
Well, I can tell you that I was ready to go and play. But I can also tell you that with as many newcomers as we have and everything that we wanted to try to get back to, you want to go see how and where you are actually in the moment and against other teams. And so I was excited about the opportunity to go face these other teams, Stanford twice, a top-ranked team that we wanted to go see where we measure up against right now, even though we all know we're all going to look a lot different in 4 months. You want to know, okay, this is what you want. This is what you want to be. And this is what you got to get better at. And we have a pretty good idea right now of what we need to get better at for sure.
So when you look at the development from when those kids got on campus, right? Again, some of those kids have been here. They've been around, but there's a lot of new kids that are coming in and filling some key roles. How much do you think they looked at you and went, whoa, as you say sometimes, whoa, this is different. This isn't what we did last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but maybe they weren't even here 2 years ago. And they kind of looked around and went, okay, all right, this is different. Let's go.
Yeah, I think they were saying whoa too. This is not what I thought was going to hit me in the first couple of weeks, of the fall. And so, but they've answered in a tremendous way and just on everything that we wanted them to do, and the way they responded from tough stuff was everything that we needed to know about this team.
Coming into the circle, obviously we know how important that is. Ruby had a terrific year last year. She's back. She's engaged, which I don't know, that may help or may relax her or may be more of a distraction. I have no idea. Crandall coming off the injury and struggled early last year, but then had the injury and fought her tail off to get back and get ready. And a couple of freshmen that are going to have to try to fill in some spots. Talk about that unit specifically, because we understand just how important in the circle is going to be for everybody.
I just having a conversation earlier today with somebody about is it getting harder to really know who you are and what you're going to be? And I just told that person, I said, no, it boils down to the circle. It always has. It always will. And we have the talent in the circle to be a very, very good team. Now we have to get our talent to execute. That goes for Ruby. That goes for Riley, and that goes for our two young kids that are going to be looking at those two older kids each day to go, okay, this is what it looks like in the bullpen. This is what it looks like in scrimmages. And now, even though the game shouldn't feel any different because the offenses that they're facing, I don't really feel like are a whole lot better than ours. But it is different because that uniform over there is different. And so it's getting them to buy into what those older kids are doing and just stay the course and stay the plan. So if we do that, we'll be very good. If we don't, we'll have a year like we had this last year, trying to fight through and piece it together. And you can win it like that, but boy, it's hard. I'd sure like it the other way.
Yeah, don't recommend it if you don't have to go that direction.
Yeah.
So opening weekend, again, I got a few other things. We got to get people caught up to the weekend and then talk the weekend. But in this weekend, there were a couple of struggles for Riley. There were some struggles for Ruby. The young kids, again, I think if I put true serial menu, you'd say, listen, let's go out there and make it easy and let's win 5 ball games coast. But 4 months from now, with those two struggled, 2 younger kids look and go, oh, everybody's going to struggle. This is not easy.
Yep.
It's okay to struggle. How do I handle that struggle? In the long run, what they learn may truly be the most beneficial thing for those youngsters.
Yeah, it's an important thing that everybody's paying attention and they're learning from everyone else. So sometimes some lessons that you can learn don't have to be your lessons. There's somebody else's lessons that you can pay attention to and go, oh, that makes sense now. And now I understand what Carrie's talking about or Coach G is talking about. And so, I thought we had a good talk with Riley on Saturday night after we got our butts kicked against Stanford. She came in and just said, hey, I just want to know what I got to do to get better in your eyes. And we asked her to grade herself. She graded. We gave her the grade on the lower end of what she said because we're going to be honest and truthful. And then once we explained why, we told her the execution is number one in pitching. The thing I've been taught from an early age when I pitched, and it still holds true for today. There's 3 most important words are location, location, location. It doesn't matter if you've got movement. It doesn't matter if you've got speed. If you can't throw the ball to the spots that you want to throw them, doesn't matter. And so that was our message to Riley. Hey, if we want to talk about last year, this is what needs to improve. Now, where you really improved was the mentality. The mentality for her that I didn't think was very good last year at all was really good. We gave her like an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. Execution, we gave her like a 6 out of 10. And so challenged her. She took that great. Ruby, I thought, was actually pretty dang good against a senior-laden offense with 7 all ACC players back. I thought she was actually really good. If you think about the situation that our team was in, all these young kids, new kids, we played at Stanford on a Thursday night. They are opening up a brand new ballpark. That was not a good place to be, because I know how we would feel. We'd be going at 110 without a doubt, because you want to make sure you get that win. We had a chance to win that game twice with our best hitter up. Didn't happen. Ruby kept us in that game. We made some really nice plays. They executed a few things on their end. Their pitcher was incredible for opening night. Maybe one of the best opening night performances I've seen in a lot of years from a kid with a lot of pressure on her from Stanford. And then she introduced a pitch that was not on film, that we hadn't seen, that we weren't prepared for, that made it extremely tough on us, and we didn't really get going until late. So with all that being said, I thought we had some good pitching performances except the last game.
Yeah.
Really, it's just the last game. And we may have a couple of those getting going here until we get our kids to figure out, especially the young kids, hey, when you get punched, just get back up, wipe the snot out of your nose, wipe the tears out of your eyes, and punch back. And so that's the hard part.
Well, and you know what was interesting, Coach? You guys, I think you went, you were down 1-0, then maybe down 3-0, and top of the 5th of that first game. Then there's that 2-run shot, and that Austin kid got some pop. I like the way she plays. And immediately in my mind, I went, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And again, the situation set up a couple of times, and it just did not happen for you. But those were the moments where we're so used to you guys, and we know you will. It'll grow into taking a hold of those moments. And you talk about running an opening stadium night. You guys were that close to making that happen in that first one.
Yeah, I told Rosie after she struck out for the 3rd time in her first 3 at-bats, which was a shocker. We struck out 11 times, so it wasn't just her, but she probably had the worst of it. I told her, I said, hey, you're going to come up to win this game. It's going to happen. And sure enough, she came up to win that game.
Yeah.
We had runners, I believe, either bases loaded or second and third, and she had a weak ground ball to first. And those are the moments that these kids have to learn how to handle. Rosie knows how to handle it. She just didn't come through. She's not going to come through every time. But it's knowing that your last at bat is just a learning experience. You got to catalog it. You got to figure out what they're doing to you and figure out how to get out of that. And we just didn't do a very good job of that. Our top 3 hitters really, in my words, were kind of gross the first night. They just weren't good enough in Carly and Rose and Hassler, and they'll tell you that. And so in the end, that's kind of what happened. We just kind of broke down, but the good news is we had a chance, right? We had a chance in that environment, in that situation, to do it, and that's what gives me the good feeling. And then you leave that weekend with a bad feeling because you get your butt kicked, even though it was a pretty good weekend all in all, when you really look back and dissect what happened.
Yeah, in fact, you run rule San Jose State. You start the freshman against Cal. They get a couple of runs. You come in, shut it down. You win that going away 8-3, and then you hammer them 15-0 in the next one going into that nightcap. Obviously, a lot of softball in a short amount of time, but I mean there are a lot of great moments, and that's why I say, and we say this all the time. You and I talk about this all the time. I mean, and we're going to talk about what's about to come your way at Clearwater. You could have put 4 directional schools on your roster and went 5-0 this weekend. You guys could have gone to a neutral site somewhere and done that. But that doesn't tell you anything about Oklahoma City. How are we going to fare when we get in Oklahoma City? And I'm not sure this does either, entirely because, as you said, you're going to look so different. But you don't know where to go if you don't know where you are. And Stanford tells you where you are. So, I mean, what an awesome opportunity for your kids to put them in a tough environment, to learn to grow. And that's really what this weekend was all about.
It was. And I wanted to take our freshmen not in the worst environment, but in a tough enough environment that they were like, okay, like Aubrey Jones, the first day, I was tapping her on her shoulder, and I don't think she could feel it. I was talking to her, and she wasn't hearing me for about 3 innings. We made the only error in the first inning of the first game on a base hit to left field.
Yep.
Mel throws it into Aubrey. It hits her glove and shoots away, and they take a base. That's the only error we made in 5 games. And Aubrey told me, she goes, I don't even really remember the ball hitting me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that kind of stuff is stuff that we're going to talk about in years to come, and it's the growing. But then she turns around and leads our team in average this weekend. I don't know, has 5 or 6 hits, a triple, 4 RBIs, had a couple walks, played extremely good defense. JL in the center field makes 3 or 4 highlight plays, 2 home runs, a double, multiple hits, 7 RBIs. I mean, when you look back on this, you go, okay, like that's what we want to see. Presley has a complete game shutout, I believe so, yeah. We just did some really good things, you know what I mean? So there's a lot for us, to do, and there's more of that. We can talk about that, but there's more of the really good stuff that we saw which is why we feel good about this team.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, again, some people may go 3-2. I don't know. Coaches, staffs. But you didn't come away feeling bad. Obviously, you don't like the taste of that last one. Nobody does. But the fact is there was a lot to build on. And let's talk about, okay, so let's put some directional schools in there and let's win some ball games, right? Don't go to No. Let's go to Clearwater and let's play 10, 11, 14, 15, 9. I don't know. There's crooked numbers next to everybody's all the way through from Duke to UCLA, Georgia, Texas A&M. I mean, it goes on and on and on. This is a brutal weekend, but I know you love it.
Oh, I don't love it right now, but I think we'll leave there going, okay, we've been tested.
Yeah.
Right? In 10 games in, we'll have played 6 ranked teams. We will know exactly where we stand. We'll face some of the best pitchers in the country. We'll know where we are on that, and it'll give us a great idea of who we are. This is where coaching is going to come into play. I think we get a lot of credit when we win. We get too much credit when we lose. The coaching is going to come in, or too much blame when we lose. I think the coaching is going to come in this week as we massage some egos as we face the teams that we're going to face, because they're going to get now we're going to have some kids that are going to play well, and you'll see that, and we'll have kids that are going to struggle. It could be the total vice versa this last week. You may see our returners go crazy and our young kids get a little bit of the white line fever with the cameras and Michelle Smith and Jessica Mendoza and Beth Mowens in the stands. Like, this is real. Like, this is where you start to see and feel what it's really like and how big our game is. So I can't wait. I wish we had another day or two of practice. We don't. Maybe that's good. Maybe it's not. We'll see. It doesn't matter anyways. It's here and we're on our way.
Yeah, obviously the travel, quick turnaround, pack the bag again, get out there and go, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Lastly, I thought this was really cool, the broadcast on Thursday night, first game. Mendoza, who is a Stanford alum, she makes a guest appearance, and she's a professional and she's a national broadcaster. But what I love about this, and you know this, you don't talk about it and you never beat your chest, but she's there talking about the opening of the stadium and how fantastic it is. She obviously talked about, it'd be nice if Oklahoma State got one of these. Yeah. But the other part that is just the respect she showed. Talk about what you have done with this program, how much you've done for the game, and she spent a large portion of her alumni weekend to open that stadium on her broadcast portion of it to talk about what you have done and what this program's about. And I think that speaks volumes of the respect that you and this program are getting right now nationally. Yeah,
it's cool. I've known Jess now. I got to know her through Tim Walton. Tim coached her in the pro league a couple summers, and so I got to be around her. She doesn't even know that I was like watching that at that time. You know, I was just a dude that was hanging around with Tim. And then when I got into this, I got to meet her through Michelle Smith and all that. And then to see her and to watch her, and I've got to speak with her now on a lot of our ESPN pre-broadcast calls. And so she came up to me on Friday and we spoke for a very long time. And I introduced her to Jesse Martin and kind of told her what his role now is with the committee and all that kind of stuff. And she's just, first off, she respects the game. She respects women and sport. She's been fighting for Stanford. She told me that she was helping Cal, their rival. Jess is a Stanford alum. He's been trying to help Stanford get a new stadium, been helping Cal that's never had lights. Wow. They're one of the top programs in the country.
Wow.
Many years ago, they still don't have lights. They're building a brand new park now, and they will have lights. But she was part of that. So imagine me going and helping OU, and I'm not Jess Mendoza, but imagine like that type of Michelle Smith going and helping. Maybe I should reframe that. Michelle Smith going and helping OU. That's what that's like. Or somebody from OU helping us. You just don't see that a lot. She's in it for the right things. She's a great person. And, you know, she told me, anything we can do to help you, you holler at us. And it means a lot. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Somebody else had told me that she had said some really nice things. And Jess is cool. That whole ESPN broadcast group is cool. They're about pushing this. They're about getting this right. We have a voice, we have momentum, and we have an audience. And so it's really cool to see.
And you are the president of the Coaches Association, which is, I mean, that, you know, I don't know what that means, except there's more respect. They wanted you to serve in that role. I mean, in the coaches poll was one of our lowest rankings. Maybe you don't have as much influence there as I think we're higher in all the other ones. But I'm just kind of curious, you know, what does that, any of that mean anything?
I was going to tell you that the presidency is punishment. I think I did something bad. I actually had my first board call today. First real board call. So that it was actually kind of cool, to be honest. Like, I mean, I'm going in like not knowing my role. You know, you're going to learn it over. They didn't tell me it was a 3-year deal. So I've just got in my first one. So it was cool. I'm very honored. I'm very glad I'm in it. It's going to take some time, but it's okay. Like, I've always tried to do what's best for our game. I've always tried to be respectful of the people before me. I hope that's evident to everyone. I'm an emotional guy. My feelings are right here. But when I say stuff, it's because I mean it. And it's people like Jess or Carol Bruggeman, who's the CEO of our NFCA group. These people care. And so I'm thankful that they asked me to be a part of this. And it's cool.
Wrap it up, to put it in a bow on that thought, is the fact that first off, you have, everybody always says this, we hear this on national broadcast, you're willing to push the game forward no matter who it is. That would be part of the reason why they would want you in that role, is because they know you will take an honest opinion and help everyone. And I think, again, I was kidding about the coaches poll, but I think that's an indication of that. The other thing is Oklahoma State needs every one of you guys that can be in those roles, because we need positive influence, common sense influence, and Chad's doing that with the NBA, with the college selection side on the men's basketball front. I mean, I think every opportunity we have, you know, obviously Jesse is taking those roles as well, and so every time that can happen, that is only great for Oklahoma State.
It's crucial. It's not great. It's crucial, and I think what I hope our fans know is these aren't easy roles. They take more time away from your family. They take more travel. They take more energy. And it's so important. But what you said is the truth. We need our people at Oklahoma State to be in there because we want to be on the front end, not the back end. We talk about evolving. I feel like we're starting to do that again here. Instead of being reactionary, if I'm feeling more cutting edge And we've got to do that here. Otherwise, we're going to be like anybody who doesn't want to evolve. You're going to be a dinosaur, and dinosaurs become extinct. And when you're extinct, you get fired. And I don't want to get fired.
And that's why he's the president of the Coaches Association. Appreciate you, brother. Good luck this weekend. Can't wait to see how you guys do against an incredible lineup. Go get them, and we'll see you back soon.
Go Pokes.
I love it. That's going to wrap it up for us. For Coach Kenny G, I'm Casey Kendrick. We'll see you guys next time on Inside OSU Athletics.